It's another great day for a video. Another good day for a video. Got a little bit of wet on my windshield. I don't know where that come from unless it come off that tree. Today is Tuesday, and I do believe it's the 29th day of July. And we are headed to Mountain Star, Alabama, to mow a client. And this is kind of a difficult client. Got a fairly good sized yard, a lot of mowing, a lot of weed eating to do, but it's one of my favorite people in the world. A lot of my clients, or our clients, I guess I should say, Scott and I, a lot of them are our friends and people I go to church with, people that I've known for years and years. And this is one of them that I think very highly of. Just the sweetest little lady you ever wanted to meet. She's a hard worker, and I think she taught school for 25 or 30 years and retired. And she was married, lost her husband a few years back. He was a fine man, and she's been on her own since then. But she's just a really sweet lady. Let me adjust this just a little, get a little bit more of me in the picture. I know you want to see me bad, so I ask that you tolerate that. I tried turning my phone around and filming the road, and for some reason that's not working now. I don't know what it is. I'll work on that and try to figure that out. No deer this morning that I saw. And I've checked the cameras a little bit, and haven't seen any. They sometimes they slip in there on you and you don't even know they're there. But I haven't seen any feeding in the back on the deer lick. But I did check the cameras, my feeder dish for the outside animals. I checked it, and I had a good variety of several different animals that came last night. Everybody came. The cat, fox, raccoon, and possum all came. Now, I had a friend last night late, said, I'm looking for a bear. And I said, well, and old friend of mine, Martin Jackson, and I said, well, Martin, I said, if I get one, I said, you'll be the first to know. So we've been hearing a lot of bear stories. You hear that every once in a while around this area about bear being running loose up in here, and I'm not going to say that it's impossible, because it's not. We're not that far from the Smoky Mountains. We're at the foothills of the Appalachians, I guess you could say. And Kathy and I especially, we live on a high hill up there. But one of these days we're liable to get a bear, and I really hope not. And then I hope so, because a bear can wreak havoc, and he can probably tear the place up pretty good and scare all the other animals away, and I don't want that at all. But we'll wait and see about that, how that works out. I'm still trying to bring more deer in, and I think I can. Now, one of my friends reminded me yesterday that deer are going to try to eat my plants, and I'm sure that's true. Roses and different plants that I've got growing in the yard, but I'll kind of tolerate that a little bit. I think I can kind of regulate them and keep an eye on them, and they won't get up close to the porch, and that's where most of our roses are right now. All right, I'm about to turn right close to what was called the King Drive-In. It's been here for many, many years. It's shut down now, unfortunately. I think the owners, they were at a point where they were going to have to upgrade their camera system and go to some newfangled technology, and they weren't willing to make that investment, and I don't blame them for that. I'd love for that. We're going by it right now. This is where I turn to go to Mountain Star. But that doggone drive-in brings back a lot of memories for us, because Kathy and I went many times when we were dating, and since we've been married, we take the kids there, and And it was a good outing for the family. Always been a nice, clean place. People acted good. I got some young ones walking right over here that I got to watch out for. I don't know who that was. It's sweet people. A lady out with her 3 children walking, pulling wagon. But now we got railroad tracks here and we got a stop sign, so guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna stop. Now some people don't. Some people, you know, will slide across that. I don't do that. I stop at stop sign. And I'll tell you something else. Since I said that, I stop even when there's not a stop sign. If I come up on a crossing, especially in Russellville, I always stop anyway, or at least look both ways before I cross those tracks. And I've had a friend argue this, that those are reliable. They're battery backed up. They're almost impossible for them to fail. But I say anything mechanical will fail. It's just a matter of time. So I don't trust my life and totaling my vehicle and messing up a train and possibly hurting other people to those arms coming down. So I would encourage you to think about doing that too. And while I'm talking about driving a little bit, of course I'm breaking a rule here, I guess, is I've got my attention divided between making this video, going down the road, and driving this vehicle. But I have driven since I was 16 years old and I'm 70 now. And I'm paying attention to what I'm doing at the same time. But I want to share with you that you need to do the same thing. Obey the rules of the road. Don't speed. There's no reason to speed. You might get by with 2 to 3 to 5 miles per hour over the speed limit, but why do you want to speed? Unless you've got an emergency or something, enjoy life. Go down the road and look around and what's going on around you. Had a good point yesterday that people, one of the things they're doing here in the state of Alabama, and of course this is federal now, this ain't just the state of Alabama, but one of the things they're doing that's a little bit controversial right now is they're doing away with kids having cell phones in the schools. And boy, I'll just go ahead and stick my neck out right here. I agree with it. I don't think kids, I can see where it would help them some, but they're too much focus on the cell phones and social media, social stuff, and Facebook and all TikTok and all that other mess, to YouTube, everything else that people are doing while they should be paying attention to the teacher in school. And if I was teaching a class, and I do teach in church, and some people use their phones. I'm thankful that all the ones that I deal with are very, they're not required to be there. It's a voluntary thing. So all of mine are very good about it. They don't let it mess up the classroom or mess me up or anything else, which it don't mess me up for people. I don't mind if somebody gets up and walks out during the middle of the class. If they've got they're adults, they know what they should and shouldn't do and know how to act. But kids are still learning, and school is so important that you focus and pay attention. And now some of the ways that we as adults give an example to our kids, and they're going to do what we do, is we get on our phone. We'll be sitting in a waiting room and on our phone, and I don't see anything wrong with that, but it does slow down on and stalls and stops interaction with other adults. And I think that we should communicate with one another. It's nice to make new friends and interact with people and find out a little bit about their lives. So cell phones can be good, they can be bad, just like anything else. But also another thing, and I don't do this much because my hearing is so limited. I ran a chainsaw for so many years and equipment that damaged my hearing, no doubt. But people that wear these iPod things, they let those, you know, they can't hear what's going on around. If there's a siren, if somebody's hollering at them, if something's going on around them, they're not aware of it because they got the doggone iPods things in their ear, and they can't hear. You know, they're not paying attention. A couple of Franklin Electric trucks sitting there. I don't know where the workers are, but they're evidently got something planned right here. I did that for 30 years, and not with Franklin Electric, but with Russell Electric Board. And so I have such good thoughts about that place. I love that place. Hate to leave it when I did, but I had an opportunity to retire and then go to work with my dad for 11 years. Didn't know it'd be 11. I was planning on 5 when I first started, but I worked with Dad for about 11 years at the post office, and I wouldn't take nothing for that. I've got a big tree right there that looks like it was dead, clearing out this single phase line right here. But headed up here to this client, and we're going to try to get this done. It's supposed to be in the upper 90s, I believe, today, and we try to get this as soon as the dew gets off the grass. We try to get up here and go ahead and get our mowing and weed eating and take care of this particular client. Let's see if Scotty beat me. Don't think that he has. And here we are right here. I talked to this client yesterday, and she said they hadn't got a lot of grass growing because it hadn't rained that much. But I can see where we could go over it and mow it and make it look a little bit better maybe. Yeah, it does need mowing. I'm gonna try to find a shady spot and get the mowing on. I hope you're gonna have a good day. Let me share one other thing with you that I did last night. Is I use a BPAP, and not a CPAP, but a BPAP. And Kathy told me, said I fell asleep in the sunroom yesterday, and she said, boy, said, you are going back to doing your snoring. And I don't know what makes me do that. I think I've got a little sinus condition, but so I took her advice. A wife's a good thing because they teach you if you'll pay attention. And so last night I thought, well, you know, I'm gonna crank that BPAP up and get it going and see if it'll help me sleep a little bit better. And what it does, it puts you in the rapid eye movement, or the REM sleep. And when it does that, you sleep better. It's actual sleep. You're not waking up. For me now, everybody doesn't have this problem, but for me, it puts me into that. So I put it on, say about 10:30, and I slept till 3. Woke up at 3. I thought it was time to get up. So I jerked my mask off and started to, you know, getting and looked up. It's 3 a.m. And I thought, well, I'm not going to put it back on for this little bit, so 2 or 3 more hours of sleep. I'll just go ahead and leave it off for now. But I feel so much better just that little bit of time that I slept with that last night. So I'm gonna run it for a while and see if it continues to improve and helps me to get my sleep done. God bless you. I hope you're having a good day. I hope that you enjoy the videos. I know I rambled and raved this morning, and it's a little bit longer than normal, but I hope you enjoy the videos. I'm still looking for more people that want to hear what I've got to say. So if you feel led to, share the videos, tell your friends about them, and see if they like what I'm doing. I'm going to have different stuff. I'll have stories. I'll talk about myself. May do a question and answer if I can ever build up to 1,000 viewers. God bless you. Have a great day. We'll catch you later. Bye-bye.